my Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node. What is going on, boo-boos? Want to let y'all know, you know, before I get into it, you know, just let y'all boo-boos know. This is going to be shadow work for love. The work that you need to do in order to allow more harmonious connections in romance for your life. Now, I want to get into disclaimers, and then we're going to get right into it. Disclaimers, please understand my aquas, aqua. Even though you're an air sign, I'm still on that shit. If you haven't been with me, I'm still on it. Like aquas, you got water in your name when you're air. But anywho, it evaporates. Disclaimer, please understand that tarot should not dictate your life. My readings are not here to tell you what to do. My readings are simply here just to give you guidance, clarification, confirmation, or upliftment on what your soul already knows for your best and highest good. Now, if you don't know what shadow work is, Aquarius says, I want to let you know that shadow work is about going within the depths of understanding how you are subconsciously, that rules your consciousness, that rules how you are in the waking life. So we're going to go over shadow work that needs to be done in love, in romance, in order for you to have healthier connections in your life. Now, Aquas, we're going to get into it, boo. If you do enjoy spending your time with me here today and enjoy this energy, boo, you can... and you want to be a part of this community, you could do so by hitting that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hitting that notification button so you won't miss out on any videos. And I greatly appreciate you for supporting me, and especially for all of you who already subscribed. I love you all. I love you all, boo. Thank you so much. All right, my Aquarius says, we're going to get into the overall energy. We're going to get overall energy, how you feel about love currently. We're going to get one pile for how you consciously act in relationships. The second pile, what you avoid in relationships. And then the last pile is going to be the overall belief behind why you act the way that you do. We're going to get 3 cards of that. 3 cards of the shadows behind that. Get some tarot on it. We're going to see what kind of people you attract and the type of person you are within those attractions. Then we're going to get the overall energy of how you feel about love in the near future. And then we're going to close out the reading with cards from your higher self, or what your higher self wants you to learn and embody within new connections for yourself. All right, Spirit. Let's do this for my aquas. This is my aquas overall energy about love. By the way, these are the Dark Mirror Oracles. Perfect for shadow work. Perfect. So I was led to use them. All right, Spirit. Can I get one card from my aqua? What is their overall energy about love currently? What is their overall energy? Oh, okay. Sexy. Oh, sexy. Number 4 might be very significant for you guys. Now you have, is this me? Okay. So your overall energy about love is... you're starting to see that you have allowed yourself to become a person you have allowed yourself to embody this certain characteristic within yourself that has made you become a person that you don't even recognize within relationships. And I feel like you're starting to realize how much you have abandoned yourself within relationships, and how much you always overextended yourself to the point that you have left yourself behind. And now you're starting to realize that you don't even recognize who you are when it comes to love relationships. And I do feel like you're in a state of stagnancy right now in love currently. And the reason why I feel that is because I feel like you have gone through so many disappointments, or I'm feeling boredom here. I feel like you've been bored in a lot of connections that didn't really help you grow. And now you're starting to see, who am I that is attracting these things that is not what I want? And you're starting to be observant of who you are, and starting to really take accountability for the fact that you're attracting particular people because you have those same characteristics. So that's what I'm definitely feeling, is that you're starting to not recognize yourself. No, you're starting to realize that you haven't recognized who you are in relationships, and you're starting to gain more clarity on why is it that you lower your standards for people who don't have standards. So, all right, let's get these triggers, boo-boo. Spirit, we need you, boo. We need you for my aquas. All right. Can we get 3 cards? What is the overall trigger that my Aquarius is consciously acting? Can I get 1, please? What is the conscious characteristics my Aquarius have in relationships? All right, you have, even though I'm wrong, I struggle to apologize. Vulnerability. Okay, vulnerability. All right. So, well, how do my aquas, what do my aquas avoid when it comes to certain relationships? I display codependent behaviors when I have feelings of low self-worth. Please understand, you guys, this is shadow work. So me as a tarot reader, I'm not here to try to be wishy-washy and tell you what you want to hear. I'm literally doing this type of work because I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And because I feel that if someone is willing to tell you the truth, then that means they care for you enough. So my whole goal is for you to understand that shadow work is all about getting to those crevices within yourself of the parts that you don't like, so you can learn how to love them and realize that those parts you don't like are affecting you in your certain connections and why you're attracting certain people, which are a reflection of those very wounds that you avoid and don't want to see. So shadow work is all about being able to see those wounds and have no shame in them, but to be able to put them on display so they do not affect any area of your life. So please understand, do not shoot the messenger. Do not be mad by what you hear. Like I said, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If it doesn't resonate with you, you know where the trash is at, boo-boo. But if it does, then, you know, take it as it resonates. Like I said, I'm only doing this to uplift you guys and give you clarification because we deserve to have harmonious relationships. But other than that, what is the overall belief that my aquas have around love? All right. When I'm feeling, didn't I just say shame? When my feelings of shame surface, I will avoid everyone close to me. Wow. Wow. Okay. Aquas. So even though I'm wrong, I struggle to apologize. So consciously, you're a little prideful. Let's just be honest. You're a little prideful in relationships. And for that very reason, that's probably why you struggle with companionship, is because you're not willing to be vulnerable enough to say that you're wrong, to speak up, and to compromise in a relationship. Now, let's see the shadow behind that. Why is that, Spirit? What is the shadow behind this conscious behavior for my aquas? Didn't I just say compromising? You have uncompromising. Think about being fair and working in harmony with another person. What? Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Just thank you. I'm going crazy because I love when Spirit confirms what my intuition is telling me. I love it. So yeah, you guys are definitely not compromising enough. You think too much about what you think should be right in a particular relationship, or than rather seeing the other person's viewpoint in order to create harmony for both you guys, not just for yourself. So really, I do hear a little bit of narcissism in there, but it's okay. We all have that. I mean, we all have a tendency to be like that. It's okay. But, you know, you got to understand, Aquarius, is to have harmony in any relationship and to feel the passion within two people, you have to compromise parts of yourself. So if you're that type of person, say, you like watching a particular TV show in a certain time on Sunday, and your spouse doesn't like the show, but they're willing to watch it with you because you like it. Now, if your spouse wants to do something you don't like and you don't want to do it, that's not fair. That's not fair. So you need to be compromising by being open-minded and open-hearted to see how the other person is. Because in order to learn another person, or to give them what they need, or to have harmony in relationships so the other person feels like they're getting what they want, is by surrendering your opinions to learn that other person so you can feed them what their soul needs. So Aquarius, surrender yourself. Have an open heart and open mind so you can learn your other half, because they deserve that same love that you're asking for as well. All right. Now, subconsciously, how you are, what you avoid expressing in relationships or saying, is that I display codependent behaviors, so I have feelings of low self-worth. So I do feel like that with this uncompromising card, is that you do have a tendency to be a little bit controlling, and I used to be just like this, you guys, so please don't feel guilty. I used to be very controlling, and the only reason why I was controlling particular relationships is because I was trying so hard to hold on to that person because I felt like they would abandon me. That itself shows codependency tendencies, because if you're not willingly allowing the person to be free and be themselves, you're not giving them the chance to show you how they feel about the relationship. But also, what you're not actually doing as well, as I display codependent behaviors and when I have feelings of low self-worth, what you're really displaying is that I see that you give so much of yourself so that person doesn't go. And it's like you're holding on when all you need to see is the fact that you really don't feel safe within yourself. Because when we try to grasp for things, it's because we don't feel valuable to be with ourselves. So let's get a little deeper. What is the shadow behind this for my Aquarius spirit? Can I get one, please? Just one, boy. Just one. Okay, they gave me two again. Just one. Just one for my Aquarius. What they subconsciously feel and avoid. Thank you. You have superficial. You care too much about your outward appearance. Start with your inner work, your value, your self-esteem, your personality. That's definitely what I'm getting. I do feel like you are a little bit controlling. You do try to act like someone that you're not rather than being vulnerable. And that makes you superficial. And you might attract people who are like that too, like they're fake. But really, deep within, you're not allowing yourself to express your truth and express how you really feel. Because people who are codependent, they don't feel valued. That's why they give so much of themselves. But yet they do it in a way where they're trying to control and manipulate the situation so they don't feel abandoned. So really, you shouldn't worry about how people act in relationships towards you. If you put your foot down, pay attention to how that person acts so you can know how they feel about the relationship. But if you haven't put your foot down and you're acting in ways in order to be liked and be seen and be understood, then what you're really doing, you're neglecting yourself to seeing that you need to do the inner work and understanding what values do you bring to the table that are going to benefit this other person. And so you can attract the same thing. Do you understand what self-esteem is? Meaning that, do you know the value that you hold? And what kind of personality do you have? Because your personality creates your personal reality. So if you have a personality that I need to give so much of myself so people could see that I am valuable and worthy. If you have that type of personality, you're going to attract people who are going to take. Now, if you have a personality where you are very controlling and too prideful, that is just showing how much that you don't value yourself. And that's why you don't value life and other people. So pretty much the shadow is saying stop being superficial and stop caring so much of what people think and who you think you need to be to the world, and start realizing who you truly are within yourself and working around what is really beneficial for your heart rather than the outer world and your logical mind. Oh, damn, Aqua, this is deep channeling. All right, so your overall belief of why you consciously act this way and why you consciously avoid how you truly feel is that when my feelings of shame surface, I will avoid everyone close to me. So I do feel like that. I feel a lot of pride in here. And pride is very different from having morals. Because morals is having integrity, knowing what you've done in your past and be able to make better decisions. But what was I going to say? Pride is all about thinking you're too good or thinking you're not good enough. And I want you to understand, guilt and shame are two different things. Guilt comes from, I'm a good person, I did something wrong, and I feel guilty for it. Shame is for, I'm a good person, but I did something wrong, and that makes something wrong with me. Shame is pretty much saying, I did something wrong, so that means there's something wrong with me. I want you to understand, if you're feeling like it's hard for you to receive love, and this is why you have to give so much of yourself, or you try to control because you don't want people to leave you, I want you to understand is that take advice if you want or don't. Your feelings matter. Your emotions matter. Who you are as a person matters. And to be willingly express that with a full heart and have no shame in what you feel, then you wouldn't run away from people. If you run away from people, which I'm getting from this card, avoiding everyone close to me, if you run away from people, you're thinking you're not good enough to receive love. And that's not true. You are worthy of receiving love regardless of what you have done or haven't done. It's our divine right. Now, what is the shadow behind this spirit that my uncles need to be aware of? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So you got manipulative here. Let go of want to exert power over someone or a situation. Do you need to work on your self-esteem? You have self-esteem twice here. So what I just heard when that card came out was that with this card, I feel like you do feel shame, but at the same time, when you walk away from people close to you, it's like you try to, I hate to say this, but this is what I'm getting, so please don't shoot the messenger. This is shadow work. We gotta see the parts of ourselves that we don't want to see. So what I'm getting is that you may have this tendency to pull away because you want to see if people really care. You want to see if they'll really show up. You want to see if they'll really call. But the shadow is telling you it's time to stop allowing yourself to be manipulative that way and let go of trying to gain power or validation over other people. And realize that when it says self-esteem, working on your self-esteem is by realizing, why is it that you act this way to try to receive love or attention? And get to the root understanding of that. Because I feel like you just, maybe at a young age, let's be honest, let's get a little deep. Maybe at a young age you felt very disappointed, or your parents felt disappointed in you, and you probably lingered with that for a long time. And when you get into relationships, we really get into relationships that resemble our childhood and how our parents treated us. So you probably got into a relationship where what you had to act like when you were younger, try to seek validation or approval from your parents, and you try to do that through other people. Or you probably grew up in a household where one parent was too controlling over the other, and you thought that's how love should be, and you thought that's how people should see who you are. But really, it's this card, the shadow, is saying it's time for you to go within and look at yourself and stop trying to see how people should be and see who you are, so you can change who you are. Because once you can change who you are, you change how you attract things. So, all right, Aquas, this is deep. Let's get some tarot on it. Let's get some of the tarot in it. Ooh, Spirit, can we get 3 cards, please, from our Aquas? That literally came out, so they told me to put that there. 2 more, please. 2 more, both of them. 1 more, please. Oh, okay. I like this. I like this. I like this. So the tarot, as we clarify, for how you consciously act, you do feel disappointed. Like I was saying, in the overall energy, you feel highly disappointed. You feel left out. You feel like nothing has been good enough to express to you what your heart is resonating with. So the tarot is just letting you know with the 4 cups is that I'm hearing you are being a little ungrateful. But what I'm also hearing is that internally you just feel like there's no one that suits you. You don't feel connected to anyone, and that kind of disappoints you. That kind of makes you feel like you waste your time. But at the end of the day, Aquarius is okay. Me too. Let's see what kind of people you attract and who you are in relationships. What kind of people do my let me fix that. What kind of people do my Aquas attract into their life? How are they in those interactions? What kind of people do they attract, and how are they in those interactions? Okay. So these are twin flame cards, but I'm not going to consider them twin flame because they really resemble connections. So the red is runner and the yellow is chaser. So whatever the way you are in relationships, pick each side. But I'm going to read this as the other person. I'm going to read this as you. So you have, this relationship scares me, and sometimes you do too. I didn't mean to hurt you. All right, Aqua. So you attract people who don't know how to stand up for themselves, who don't know how to speak their truth, who it's like you attract people who are intimidated by you, and they leave because they feel like they're not good enough. And when you are a little bit too controlling, people feel like they aren't good enough because you hold too much expectations on them. So with this Four of Cups here, you attract people who disappoint you, who walk away, who don't know how to speak their truth, who are too fearful of connections, who are too fearful just to stand up for themselves against you. Not against you, but to bring harmony into the situation. It's like you probably did all the work and you attract people who barely did any of the work. It's like you had to baby them or parent them. And that's what brings this Four of Cups, disappointment. So who you are is love is patient and understanding. I am patient and understanding. I do sense that. I do sense that, Aquas, that you are willing to be patient. You are willing to be willingly understandable. But I do feel like when you do try to control situations because you feel like you know what's best, it's sometimes not what is best. Now, I'm also getting is that your characteristics as you are as a person, people misunderstand that probably. And maybe you feel hurt that people are not willing to understand you on the deep level that you need when you're clearly stating that the way that you're acting is just showing the way that you love and the way that you want to make something work out. So overall, you do seem like someone who is committable, someone who does want to make things work, but you just need someone who's willing to do that same work and doesn't run away when things get hard. I see. All right. So the tarot you got for subconsciously, you got the World. You got self-worth here and you got self-esteem here. And then the World. So my Aquas. So with the tarot, the World here, it's like you are realizing these patterns that you have within yourself and how they've taught you that they always led you back to you when they never worked out. And with the World card here, what it's saying for even the shadow behind that is now is the time to allow yourself to see through your heart, not through your mind. Meaning that now is the time to start living through your emotions rather than logic. So instead of caring about how people see you, start caring about how you show up. Start close out cycles that don't serve you, that are preventing you from claiming who you are as a person and expressing that with no shame. So that's definitely what I'm getting with the World card. It's time for you to show up how you want to show up and who you want to show up as, and don't try to keep people in your life who aren't meant to be there, because you show people your worth by how you express your worth. So the World card is letting you know, close out those old cycles and walk through and allow yourself to show up as who you truly want to show up as, rather than accommodating to fit other people's needs. Now, the tarot on this side for the overall belief is that you got the Three of Cups here. So stop running away from people who care about you and stop putting so much focus on people who don't care about you. Start choosing people that choose you, Aquas, and start realizing that if relationships don't work out and they walk away, it's not the end of the world. You still have people that love you, but you got to recognize that. And you recognize that by loving yourself, by realizing that, I'm not saying getting over heartbreak is easy. It's not. But lingering in it to the point that you close yourself off because you can express yourself and you want to see if people care. You can tell when people care when you're willing to pay attention how people treat and act towards you. So what I'm really sensing is that be around people who love you. Choose people that choose you. And celebrate yourself as you are, and stop trying to prove yourself to people who are showing you that they're willing to misunderstand you rather than understand you. All right, let's see what the overall energy is for you in the near future on love. Spirit, what is my Aqua's overall energy around love in the near future? What is my Aqua's energy around love in the near future? Alright. What do my aquas need to know? How is their energy going to be in the near future around love? Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Top. So you have karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. Okay. So in the near future, you're going to learn how to be able to set boundaries and choose yourself over temptations. Because I do feel like that you, Aquarius, says you have a tendency to choose people you think that you want. And at the end of the day, you get signs consistently about how it's not working out, or things are always in a stalemate with certain relationships. You're going to start learning that these people that you attract that show you these wounds of codependency and parts of yourself you don't like are really trying to show you how to come back home to yourself, assert yourself, and adjust yourself so you can be a better version for you and for your potential lovers. So in the near future, you're definitely going to be more discerning on the type of people that come into your life, and you're going to be able to discern if they're worthy of your energy or not, and you're going to be able to have discernment if it's worth giving yourself to someone. So definitely what I'm getting. Now you have cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm feeling. Maybe this shame, this codependency, this, that's definitely what I'm getting with the shame, the self-worth, the self-esteem, is that you keep replaying events that were disappointing and such failures. And this is only, as you replay these, you keep reliving those moments and those emotions, and you start embodying those emotions, and those emotions stay in your body, and they stay in your personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. So really, all I'm getting here is that you need to stop replaying events of disappointments, because they're only taking you away from your happiness and seeing what can potentially be created. So really stop entertaining the old and stop entertaining the old ways of how things went, and start entertaining what possibly could happen. Start entertaining what you want, visualize on that, and watch how your energy shifts within you, your emotions towards what you want, and then you'll start seeing how things start changing in your life, how people you attract. But look at that, you got union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. Yeah, as you do this inner work towards love, and you start putting yourself as number one priority, and stop pushing and start choosing people that choose you, definitely unionship, because you're going to allow unionship within yourself. Oh, but let's see what your higher self wants to let you know, my aquas. Spirit, what does higher self from my aquas in the collective want to let them know about the work that they just did? How should they consciously start acting in relationships? These came out, so I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them. Oh, that's too many, Spirit. You told me to keep those. I'm keeping those. All right, can I get 2 more, please? Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. I appreciate you. All right, how you want these? Okay, got you. All right. So consciously, how you should start being in relationships. You ready, Aquas? Your higher self is letting you know. Question yourself. Am I truly loving myself enough to love another person? If you are a little bit controlling, then you need to attain to yourself and mend your broken heart. Because that anger that control comes from anger. That anger comes from sadness. The sadness comes from fear. And fear comes from feeling not good enough. So really ask yourself, do you love yourself enough to be able to love another person and give them what they want? The question your higher self wants you to ask before you get into a new relationship. Now you have these questions your higher self has for you. My goodness. You have, why do I let that person trigger me? There is something I don't like about myself and that actual person. What is it? If you are a little bit controlling, it's okay. Most aquas are. It's cool. Only love. Let's just be honest. The Aquas I met, of course. But what you judge in a person is really the parts of yourself that you're not willing to see within you. So your higher self is letting you know why you're allowing people outside of you in relationships to trigger you to the point that you lower your standards, you lower yourself to match where they are vibrationally. So what is it within yourself that you need to see that you are allowing to manipulate you to lowering yourself down? So your higher self wants you to know both these questions. I'll put them up so you guys can screenshot them. Even though it's gonna be, you might have to flip it in order to read it, but all right. Now, subconsciously, what you should be aware of in love is, when was the last time I had a good laugh? Yes, let's search for a silly video. Okay, so if you guys have defined your worth based off a past relationship, based off of how people treat you, based off of if people leave you and you think you're worthless, you're getting too much wrapped up in disappointments and heartache. And here's the thing, there is a such thing as going through the grief and learning from it, but wallowing in it, no, don't do that. So Aquarius, your higher self is letting you know, close out that cycle of how you used to be with the World card, meaning that living in the pessimistic attitude of disappointment, and walk through the new path of that you are worthy of love, and you are worthy to express your truth and know your truth and have someone honor that. But your higher self wants to let you know, you need to have a good laugh. You need to laugh more. You need to smile more, and do it for yourself and don't do it for others. And stop trying to get your happiness upon other people and be responsible for your own happiness. All right. Now, last but not least, the belief that your higher self wants you to embody, my Aquas, is, you ready? It's okay to open up my heart more. To feel and express love makes me a divine being. That's what I'm getting with this Three of Cups. It's like, stop putting all your attention on someone who doesn't choose you, and put your attention towards people who do choose you. Because it is your right to love as deeply as you want to love. And if someone is not willing to receive that, they don't deserve that. They told me to end it right there. They told me to end it right there. Aquas, that is all I have for you. If you got any clarification, any upliftment, if this really brought you a sense of clarity and a sense of like self-empowerment, I would love to know your feedback in the comment section below. I really love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for being here with me. If you enjoyed spending your time with me here today, boo boo, I would greatly appreciate if you want to be a part of this community. You can do so by hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel, so your energy will always be in here with us. But other than that, Aquas, if you want to book your own personal reading or healing session, all of my services are in the link in the description below this video, and as well as to follow me on Instagram is down in the description box below. But other than that, my beautiful Aquas, that's all I have for you. Please have a blissful day, and just realize your love is going to be a blessing for someone who is going to show you how much they appreciate you. But other than that, my Aquas, I love you. Have a blissful day. See you on the next one. Namaste.